Hello there, my name is Asleon, and today I gotta be putting my Gaming back together, but I'm gonna show you how my Gaming's built. Right now, I was in the middle of revising him because we got this new neat sword, which looked really, really nice for him. I mean, it was meant for Kinnich, but who cares? Baby. Initially, I had him on this one, R5, fully ascended. I'm gonna put him back onto that for this showcase of his. Tired brain. Anyway, this is my Gaming. These are his current attributes. What is he at right now anyway? He's got 1800, pretty sure that's how you say it. 1800 attack, 41 over 177, 123 ER, 61.6 higher damage bonus. So, this is how I build Gaming. Now, if you go into your artifacts, you can see I put him on Crimson Witch of the Flame. If you look at your... no, not that one. The filter thing, where it tells you which ones. They actually recommend Crimson Witch of the Flame. When I initially got him, all they would say is my Tuesday's Hunter. And it got on my nerves so much, because I personally don't think my Tuesday's Hunter is the best set for him, because this one, both the 2-piece and the 4-piece, Gaming can benefit from, while Tuesday's Hunter, he doesn't benefit from the 2-piece, because his main damage comes from his plunge, which isn't being buffed by the 2-piece of Tuesday's Hunter. Not that the extra crit rate isn't bad, but we're gonna get all the way out. It's not going to be on this build that I'm showing you because I'm not pulling for it yet. But the sword that's coming out, I will be doing a part 2 to this once I have rebuilt him. Where is it? This guy. This is going to be his new sword. It is amazing, and if I recall, it's going to give him, like, really good stuff. It's made for plunge attack characters, so I am so hyped for that to come out. And it's on a really nice weapon banner, too. So it's gonna be Gaming's sword. He just doesn't get it yet. I'm gonna show him off as he is now. Don't mind the team. It's not his official team. This would really... it would be the worst. It would help with the Hydra application. One of the reasons I want to change sword a lot is that I have... well, actually, I forgot to tell you, he's in 291. But... is that he's really, really reliant on bait to get any proper damage, because this one, you know, if it's affected by Hydro. And of course the other one is triggered off of reaction. The other one, the Fruitful Hook that I was pointing out, runs off plunge attack damage, which would be really, really nice for him. Con-wise, his C6 is crazy. I really wish I had it. I really, really want this for him. Because it's just straight up 20 more crit rate. And if I had his C6, he would have, what is it? 60 over 210. With almost 300 EM and 1800 attack. So, like, I really want a C6, because when he's going to be fully built is when he gets his C6. I don't know if he's actually going to show up in the shop. If he does show up in the shop, I'll maybe see him in the shop. Because if he does, I would totally save to get his last con. If not, actually, I'm probably just going to get him at Lantern Rider if I haven't rolled him by then. I don't care about the whatever... I assume they're coming to come out with a new 4-star when that happens. I don't really care. Gaming is one of my favorites, so favoritism. Let me pull out his actual team, which I am in the middle of revising right now. Where are you? Curious. So, this is his current team, with Farina, Bennett, Mona, and himself. Now, there is one major problem with this, is that I have a C6 to Bennett. Normally, I really, really like C6 Bennett. The problem is, we don't have a Hydro character that applies enough Hydro to keep Vape up for him to be able to make sure his E does the damage opposed to his auto vaping and then him not having Hydro apply. That is the biggest problem I have run into with this team. Besides that, it is a brilliant team. Button and Amono will both buff him, and Lena buffs and does damage. And most of the time, I don't need to pull out her healing capabilities. Now, I am currently thinking I might do an alternate team without Bennett and just have it... I don't actually know what order I would do it in, but I think I would have Mona, Serena, and then where is she? Her. Junior? There are like 8 characters with the slight variations in that name. Cloud Retainer. Because I'm thinking I might run him like that, because she does just buff plunge attack damage. I don't know how well she's built. I built, because when I initially got Gummy, I built her for him. So she's not terrible. I mean, you can see that there. This is for, you know. Mona is very new and really needs a lot of work. So don't worry about her. We're focusing on him right now. This is my current going build. I'm going to quickly look at these. I would like for him to have a bit more crit rate, but like I said, currently I'm just in a building phase for him. We could technically take this one. It's worse overall, though. I don't like those two, but... generally speaking, it's a really nice piece. Advancing your defense, HP, attack. That one's also attacked. That doesn't look great either. I could level this one, but... actually, why don't I level this one? He might not stay on an attack goblet, though, because I might swap him back to an EM goblet. Which I don't have. That would also have to be an off-piece. When I give him the other one, because right now he gets most of his EM from this, and I don't know if I think the Fruitful Head has an attack substat, so I'm probably going to swap him back to that when I get him on that. But for now, his build is that. Let me go over a few things. Weapons I recommend for him. Maiden's Beloved can work really well, because he uses his skill with an 8-second achievements and builds his skill hits an opponent, or triggers a reaction. Their attack and damage match would be boosted. Of course, I have it R5. It's an event weapon, so if you did the event all the way through, you should have it R5, and if you didn't do the event, you don't have the sword. It kind of sucks for you. It's a really nice sword, especially for Kaveh. It's really good for Kaveh, and I think it can really work really, really well with Gaming, too. I just personally didn't put it on him because I was really focusing on his vape damage, which is why I thought an increased damage is 36% sound really good. Not that almost 100 more EM and 24% more attack were not brilliant. I also just haven't leveled it yet. I should level it. Of course, this one I recommend is a really good looking sword. Triggers a pyro-related reaction. Gami, I personally built him running off of reactions, and that's typically how I've seen him built. You could probably build him raw pyro. I don't think there's anything in his kit that says he can't be built off of raw pyro damage, but most things run off of reactions, so vape is really good, and simplest. The hardest part about vape is making sure you have the Hydra on the field. I'm trying to think of... I'll go over team comps later. For now, we're going to go over the weapons. And of course, elemental skill damage is increased by 16%, which is most of his damage. I actually need to check that, but I believe it should be the skill going into the plunge. Because when the skill hits... I don't know if the plunge down counts as it. When the skill hits, it does damage as well. I'm rethinking everything, realizing that his skill might not... His skill does damage, but the main damage comes from a plunge attack. So, while these are good, I personally put him on this. I have Kinesis weapon. But this one could probably... No, this one's not good because it runs off burning, so I personally wouldn't recommend that one. Of course, you could always just put him on something along the lines of this, but again, he doesn't really use his normal charge, he runs off his plunge. Now, typically in between, I will be using his auto, force a couple of hits in between when his E is getting off its cooldown, but that's not all. It's not all that much, so it's much less useful, which is why I have him on the Rain Slasher. It also gives a use for the Rain Slasher. Not many other characters that I have were using it. Let's see. So, this is also a really neat weapon. This is just a flat out, I personally think it's a really nice weapon. Of course, it does have ER, but honestly, it's pretty good for Gaming. He wants his ult up as much as possible. So, there's a lot of different weapons you can use for him. I personally think the Rain Slasher would be the best one. Let's go look over his kit real quick. Because it's, what's his E? It passes towards... But yeah, he does it. P. Yeah, I know. Okay, because I think the plunge attack counts as his skill, but it gets multiplied by the plunge attack damage. From my understanding, I don't know. I've never been great at understanding them, but his plunge attack terms Flat Strider. It says it's considered plunge attack damage, so I'd assume it also get from his plunge attack, which is first priority is his E. Then they say his alt. But I don't always trust it when it's sourced from players. Because some players have him, but they don't use him. But I could be wrong and his plunge attack damage doesn't affect it, so it did not matter what his base attack. I personally did it his auto base attack, and you can see I did do his ult quite a bit. Because it's not like his ult doesn't do quite a lot. We're going over his kit now, if you hadn't noticed. But you can see this recommends the E, ult, and auto. It all depends on John Fowler's specific plunge attack damage. From that, I would assume that it would get it off of this, which is considered a high plunge as well. My assumption of how his kit works, which, if you know otherwise and I'm wrong, please correct me, but that doesn't make entire sense. Don't worry, I'm just rethinking how he works. I've been playing him for ages. I never look at their kits, I just do whatever makes them do damage. It's good stuff. Anyway. Again, it's a if you can get a C6 him, that's great. I personally think he's pretty tough even without his cons. Because I was playing him, and I built him really quickly after I got him, and by then, I don't even know if I had... No, I had one con, because I rolled him a single one. And then the rest of these I got when I got Farina, which I'm so happy about. I already went over the artifacts. How about I go a bit more in depth? I don't think I need to. I ignored that one. I personally recommend Crimson Witch of the Flame. I understand why people would not go for Crimson Witch of the Flame, simply because they haven't farmed it and would opt for Marchuse's Hunter instead. Because if you don't have it and you're not really trying to build Gaming, but you want to put him on something, Marchuse's Hunter is a really good option. He does have the HP goes up and down gimmick. I personally think that he can benefit from Crimson Witch a lot more, though. Baby. I think it's just so cute. But that's what my Gaming looks like right now. And then, so you can see him in active use. So, during this whole How I Built thing, we're going to be fighting Child. I may or may not lower the level dependent on the levels of the characters. Gaming should be fine taking down this one. Unless I have sorely overestimated him with this team, because Gaming shouldn't have a problem with this. Oh, come on! Problem here is I lost my healer, which was a fail on my part. Because as you can see, Gaming's doing really good damage. Well, actually, I don't pay attention to that actual amount of damage. Ajax isn't the strongest boss on the planet. Oh, not someone in that Seriously? That is one of the worst things that can happen when you're fighting with Gaming, is he gets knocked out of the air. And now he's gonna... Oh, he didn't die to the fall damage. That is awesome. Perfect. Could you stop knocking my guy out of the air? It's kind of rude. Come on! Sir! There. He actually doesn't damage off. Yeah, like I said, I typically, if I had Jin Yun's ult up, I would be using her ult to plunge, but she died really quickly. And I blame that on the lack of her building. That's not on Gaming. I feel like that was a really, really bad showcase for him. But I also don't really feel like trying to redo it. I feel like that said less about how strong my Gaming is and more about how I'm not the greatest player. But I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment. I'd like to hear your opinions. And then, of course, if you want to see me do any other characters, not all my characters are built, but I do want to build them all, and I have enough good teams that I feel comfortable not focusing on them. But have a good day, and thank you for watching.